Good morning. Today I'm just going to talk to you about tomatoes. As your tomatoes have started growing now, you might be wondering what you need to do with them. So there's a couple of pointers I'd like to share, and hopefully it'll help answer a few questions. So first of all, there are two types of tomatoes. There are indeterminate varieties and there are determinate varieties. And determinate varieties are the little bush varieties, and they need very little looking after. Actually, most of their growing season happens at the same time. They flower at the same time, they fruit at the same time, and they don't generally grow very big. So great for beginners. You just plant the seeds and maybe pot them on into a final growing pot or even a container. Actually, they're great for containers. And then you can start to feed them once the flowers start to appear. I usually use a seaweed feed, a concentrated seaweed feed that I mix in with the water. Water it once a week once it's flowering, and that helps to give the plants a little boost. So that's the determinate, the bush varieties. So here's a little bush variety here. This is Arctic Circle, and it's quite compact. And we don't really have to do anything to it. You can see the flowers are starting to form here. And it's out of this little flower that the tomato will appear. So it's important to keep these little flowers on. As I said, at this stage I could start watering it with a natural concentrated seaweed mix diluted with water, or I could even make tea with nettles or comfrey and just water around the plant once a week. Over here, I think it's important to share this as well. This is the same variety, and you can see the leaves are quite scorched, and what happened is this one is growing by the door, and it was subject to some quite fierce cold winds over that frosty period, and it suffered as a result. But we'll keep it going, we'll see if it stays there. It's important to try and keep weeding around these, just keep them weed free. This is scutch, incidentally. You can see horrible spaghetti-like roots. Then behind my bush tomato, or my determinate tomato, I've got some indeterminate or cordon vine varieties. Several different ones. Yellow submarine here, and you can see that I have string, and I've buried the string. It's fixed along here, comes down, and the string is buried underneath the plant, and then as the tomato grows I start to just wrap it around, and that helps to stop the plant from falling over as it grows. If you're growing in containers, you will need to stake vine varieties because they can just keep on growing. And you can see the spacing there. It's around about, gosh, 1.5 foot, maybe 60, 70 centimetres. And the reason I've got that spacing is to try and ensure there's an airflow all around or between all my plants. But it's okay to plant smaller things at the front. The indeterminate varieties, the vine varieties or cordon varieties of tomatoes, need a little bit more looking after. And one thing that it's advised to do throughout the growing season is to ensure that these side shoots don't grow and you pinch them out. So I'm just going to stand back here so you can see. So what we have here in the container, the cordon variety, and I'm just going to demonstrate here what I do. So here we have the main stem, and this will just keep on growing all being well, as long as you don't pinch the wrong piece out. Really until the end of the growing season. Tomatoes are frost tender, so you don't grow them outside until all signs of frost have gone, and they'll keep growing for you until the frost, or the vine ones will keep growing for you until the frosts are back again. So here we have the main stem, and if you can see here, I'll just go a little bit higher. We have the main stem coming up here, and this is a leaf, or a collection of leaves here, and you can see the main tomato leaf, and this is all of this is just leaf. Now in between here we have a side shoot, and these are the ones that we pinch out. We just literally take them out. Now I could get a little pot of compost, make a little hole, and just pop that side shoot straight in there. It's compost, it's wet, and I've just potted it into there. And you can root more tomatoes just from you rooting your side shoots. Here's a little tip. Here's another one here. So you can see the main stem, the leaf, and the little side shoot coming out in between. I'm going to drop my camera down. There's another one here. Another one here. Actually got quite a few on this plant. I saved it to show you. Now I'm going to scroll down here. So if you can see the main stem, and we've got quite a large side shoot coming out here. So I'm going to take that off, and I've left the leaf. Again, large side shoot. Left the leaf. Another one here. Another one here. So you can see my tomatoes starting to look quite different. Now it can get a little bit confusing when you start to get up to the top. So I have another little side shoot here, and I have another little one here. As you can see, the leaves are quite big. Now it depends on the variety of tomato, the shape of your leaves. Now when we get to the top, it's very important at this stage to make sure that you leave the growing tip in there. If you remove that growing tip, then the plant won't grow any further. You'll have to leave side shoots in. So if I accidentally take this one out, which is my growing tip, I would have to leave this one in to take its place. So it can be remedied, but just be aware of that. If you're not sure which is the growing tip, just leave it and do nothing. It's better to do nothing and wait till it gets a bit larger before you can see what's happening than to accidentally take it out. So I can see that this is my growing tip here. I have a leaf here. So I am actually going to take this one out and just leave the one. And the reason we do this is that the plant, if we leave the side shoots in, we can train them actually, but it's a lot easier just to leave one main stem, to train that one stem, and then the plant puts all its energy into creating lots of fruit trusses with nice sized fruit than it does into creating lots of stems. So that's, and here you can see the first little fruit truss, and this is where your tomatoes are going to appear from. So mind them carefully. So this is the little pile of side shoots I took off, and as I mentioned, I could root them, see if they'll grow. They might not all grow, but some might root. I'll put a few in there, see what happens. So if you're a bit late with sowing and you would like more plants, that's the way to do it. So here's the difference now. This is the one that I have side shooted. It's actually the same variety. It is. It's a Latvian one. It's the same variety. but one is just a bit bigger. And I'll show you again here. So here we go. Here's the main stem. It's quite thick. It's much thicker than the others. And here are the side shoots. So here's your leaf. Let's take that one out. Another one here, right down at the stem there. So they're the sneaky ones that can sometimes catch you out. Take that one out. Leaf, stem, leaf, stem, stem, leaf. So just to say again, you don't need to do this on the Determinate or bush varieties. You're only doing this on the cordon varieties. Take that one out. Leaf, stem, take that one. And you just work your way through one by one until you get to the top, and you can see again here here is my side shoot. So there's the leaf, there's the stem, so that's my growing top tip, and there's my little fruit truss. So I'm going to take this one out, but if I'm not sure, I'll leave them both and wait till everything gets a bit bigger, and then it just makes it a bit easier for you to see. So let's snip that one out. So again, you can see the difference. It looks a bit naked, but they will produce a lot more larger fruit if you do this. I have found anyway. So I'm keeping this one in a container for now. It's probably likely that I'm going to gift it to somebody. I have enough in the tunnel. Or if not, I'll be putting it in a larger container and growing it out in the patio. And then even then, I'm going to harden it off by bringing it in and out for up to a week and just get it acclimatized to temperature. And again, you can see the difference. Here's another one. So yeah, one tip, write on your label. If it doesn't say on your seed packet if it's a Determinate or Indeterminate or vine or bush variety, have a search on the internet and try and find it, and then write it on the label, and that'll help. It's especially important if you've got several varieties. I've been caught like this before, where I thought one was a vine variety and were taking side shoots off like mad, only to discover afterwards it was a bush. So we can get caught out. But all of that is a learning as well. So even if you do make mistakes, you learn from them. You can see on this one, this side shoot is massive. It could easily, if you let that go a bit longer, this stem would, in actual fact, start to resemble this stem, and then you really would be confused which is which. So good to keep an eye on this. These grow very quickly, every couple of days. Just disturbed a little wee spider there, making a little web. Little shy one. There she was, and there she's gone again. But so it's good to do it now and just keep on top of it. So thanks very much for watching. If you'd like to subscribe or like or share this post, please do, and help to spread the word about how growing food can be fun, great and enjoyable.